Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I'm going to be doing a reading. Hold on really quick. I'm so sorry. I just had this urge. Is this, oh shit. Okay, let me do my urge properly. Hold on. I just suddenly felt like I had to light a candle. All right, we just leave that alone real quick, okay? So I'm going to be doing a reading for blue rays, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Okay, reading for blue rays. Decisions are being made. That's what I was told. Decisions are being made, and it's seeming like whatever these decisions are, they're going to be very impactful. They're going to make a huge impact on your life, okay, on your journey. So I'm assuming that these are decisions being made by your soul. Probably not by you. Probably by your higher self, okay? Wow, that's so weird. I just suddenly felt so like almost like naked, like alone. Oh, okay. It'll work. It'll work. Here we go. Just push this back a little bit. Let us definitely do this. So decisions are being made. Let's see what these decisions have to do about, okay? Because again, I feel like the decision is not for you, or you're not making it. The decision is for you, but you're not making the decisions. It's this feeling of like your higher self is deciding quite a bit without your actual conscious awareness of what's going on. I see a lot of forks in the road suddenly, like deviations. Paths are separating. These are the ones that fell out. Get one more. So the paths are deviating. I mean, we all got to grow up sometime, right? We can't all just keep playing on the same playground at the same school. Even while we're still at the same school, we sometimes end up in classrooms that our friends from the year before are not in. We still have to make it through. So, I don't know who you're like moving away from. All right, we'll get through this. Yeah, sometimes I'm recognizing that sometimes growth becomes very difficult if you become too dependent on like either the people around you or dependent on, I don't know, the people around you. It could be in real life or people around you online. You know, when you become too dependent, sometimes it hinders your growth. So decisions are being made. So 3. And then the final deck. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Card number 8. Everything in perfect balance. So the growth and the lean have to be balanced. You can't just be all lean. You can't just be all dependent on other people. That includes when you're going through these processes where you're developing your self-confidence. How are you going to be confident in yourself and your abilities if you always have someone else to lean on? If you're like me and there are other people around, I am more likely I am more likely to give you the credit for my growth than I am to give myself that credit. I'm more likely to be like, oh no, it's because of you. Is it because of you, or do I just not want to recognize the ways in which I'm growing myself? So that's definitely something we have to be aware of, okay? Card number 23, there's a solution for every problem. You seem tied to something very earthbound. This earthbound thing that you're tied to could be your human perception getting in the way of you truly seeing what something is. Whether something is like a spiritual test, or something is gosh, this has just suddenly become really hard. It's like maybe there's parts of you that's tied to old ways of coping. This is a period of like intense triggering, just really, really intense triggers. And if we're not going to recognize what those triggers are, what ends up happening is it just takes us right back to that moment when that trigger was first created. Okay. Usually triggers involve previous trauma, earlier life traumas. So that means there's a wound that's being very much ignored, very much unacknowledged, untended to. Speaking of wounds, these wounds are sacred. That's just so profound. All of your wounds are sacred wounds. If you look at the wounds that were inflicted during the Passion of Christ, those are the sacred wounds of Jesus, right? That's what I used to hear my grandma saying all the time. The sacred wounds, the sacred blood, all of that stuff. So it's time for you to reveal your gifts. Maybe your greatest gift is to simply remove the blinders over your eyes, because these blinders have probably been there your entire life. So maybe that's your biggest gift, not just to humanity, but also to yourself. It's time for new beginnings. So in order for you to have a new beginning, first you have to make certain decisions. First, you have to choose certain things that lead to certain other things that then lead to other things that then usually lead to endings before new beginnings. If you're afraid of things ending, why? Why are you afraid? What are you afraid of? Oftentimes, what we're most afraid of is our growth. Remember, we were just talking about how we've allowed ourselves to be tied to something. Are you tied to others because they're trauma bonds? You bonded over similar familiar traumas, or you experienced the same trauma together, and now you're bonded by that. Well, trauma bonds, those are not healthy bonds. A lot of us have all of these connections with other people, and we think it's like real friendship. We think it's a real relationship. It's just a trauma bond. You guys went through something together, and now you're bonded because of it. And that's not a bad thing, except for the fact that usually when it's a trauma bond, one person at some point will be ready to move forward, will be ready to heal. The other person won't. And that will create a lot of conflict between them. That's why trauma bonds are not healthy. Now, if both people can bond and grow, choose to grow, kind of at the same time, or close to the same time as the other person, then that trauma bond can become a healthy bond. But trauma bonds in general, they're not healthy. They're really not healthy. You have to find that radical spark. I'm kind of feeling like this is letting us know that our fear, our struggles, it's weighed so heavily around our crown. You know, you can smile all you want, you can have the best poker face, but oftentimes people can see beyond the poker face. So you have to become creative in the way you deal with the things that are difficult for you to deal with. If it's too difficult for you to face it head on, find a different way. Find a different way. So, card number 15, radical acceptance. So it's really, really time for you to just accept yourself as you are right now. And even if the person you are right now, you don't feel too proud of who that is right now, that's okay. You're a work in progress. It's like that diamond in the rough that's been dug up. You're not a diamond in the rough at this point. You're the diamond that's being cut into a precious gem. Everyone wants to be a diamond, but nobody wants to get cut. In order to become that diamond, you have to be cut, and then you have to be buffed to a polished shine. Like, do you know how much rubbing that is? Do you know how raw you have to be rubbed in order to shine like that? Do you know how many cuts are necessary to make you brilliant? It's a lot of cuts. These are precision cuts. And it's all those fractals that you see that really bounce the light. All these places where you've been cut by life, by other people. These are all the places that your soul has asked others to cut you. And it's not that we're letting people off the hook for hurting our feelings. It's that we're recognizing there's so much more than just that in your face obvious thing that happened where your feelings got hurt. Maybe they were wrong, maybe they weren't. Regardless, your feelings got hurt, and now what do? Well, look behind the obvious. What is this really about? Has it become a thing of you become too dependent on other people, just their presence alone? You become dependent on that. Like, as long as so-and-so is here, as long as so-and-so is beside me, as long as so-and-so, is present, then I'm going to be okay. Well, how about it's time for us to decide I'm okay regardless? It might be a little scary at first. It might be something very, very hard for me to accept. It might feel very, very lonely. But I'm going to be okay. We're always okay. All right? You've gotten through everything in your life thus far. Everything. All right? So it's time for you to receive. Time for you to receive the messages. It's time for you to receive this process of clearing your space. Sometimes clearing your space simply has to do with clearing out your mind, allowing thoughts to be released. Sometimes this clearing of the space involves clearing of other people, whether that be a romantic relationship, a friendship, a family bond that needs to kind of just, be paused for a little bit, some space created. You have to allow yourself to receive the opportunities your soul is gifting you to learn. If you don't allow yourself to receive, that creates so much more, wow. I hear conflicting traumas. I don't know what that means. Conflicting traumas. So I'm wondering, I understand when trauma is used to accrete frequency. That's a trauma-induced accretion. That's one of the most efficient ways to pull in extremely high frequency at an accelerated rate. So conflicting traumas. Sometimes trauma is used to raise your frequency. Sometimes trauma is used to drop you down. Conflicting. Is that why you feel upside down? Because if your lower portion is trying to be raised up, that trauma is doing that. And the upper portion of you that needs to be lowered a little bit is pushing down. It's conflicting trauma. So that's probably why you're feeling upside down. If you feel upside down. You're in this world, not of the world. If you're going to continue to try and swim like the other fish, failing to realize you have legs, it's just not going to work. When you continue to compare yourself to people who are fish, and you're not a fish, you'll always feel less than. You'll always feel as though you're not enough. You're just not valuable. It's hard. It's hard. Another amazing example, if you have more melanin in your skin, I tend to be a little bit brownish, coconutty, cafe au lait. Okay, I tend to be a little bit more tan, and I was in an environment at one point where the lighter the skin, the better. Okay, and being around so many lighter people totally, made me feel like, oh my God, I'm not as pretty. Who cares? I'm supposed to be tan. I'm supposed to be tan. And I'm not talking about my friends or peers or any of that. I had taken a trip to the Philippines years ago, and quite a few of the relatives were very pale. Very, very pale. They told me to go ahead and use some lightening cream. That was the dumbest shit I've ever done. Yeah. So card number 8, be the hunter, not the hunted. This card is about allowing yourself to receive instead of continuously running away from things. Allow yourself to run towards it. Allow yourself to run towards your answers, run towards the clearing. Just movement. I don't even really know where you're supposed to run to. I'm being told as long as you're not running away, it really doesn't matter. I think it's more of an exercise in recognizing and consciously choosing, recognizing that you have to consciously choose instead of just running. Lemmings just run. They just follow everyone else. They follow all the other lemmings. You know where the lemmings run to? Off the cliff. Don't be a lemming. Don't jump off the cliff, okay? So here we go. There's a message. There's a message right now that's asking you to take a risk. Take a risk on yourself, okay? Take a risk on yourself, and as you do this, you'll find your strength. It's in the challenge that you're able to rediscover your strength, okay? People who don't want to be challenged, people who are tired of the challenges and the tests and the challenges and the tests of life. If you're not willing to go through those processes, you're not willing to receive your strength. This recognition that you've always been strong. And really, you don't know how strong you are, how strong you actually are, until you have no choice but to be strong. So I'm wondering if maybe that's why there's this message of, you know what, maybe it's time to walk by yourself. Maybe not forever, but maybe just for a little bit. It's time for you to walk by yourself. Maybe it's time for you to recognize all the ways in which you just become so highly dependent, where it's like, what kind of example? If you don't get the response or the type of interaction that you're wanting or needing at that point, failing to understand you're not communicating your need, then you feel like, oh, I'm kind of just not welcome here. I'm kind of, people are just tolerating me. So then what happens? You hurt for no reason. You hurt for no reason because you have no idea whether they really are just tolerating you or you're really welcome. 89% at 836. 89836. 8989. Mirrors with one that's fractionated, one that hasn't realized to come together and be its totality again. So 8 is a number of unification. 9 is a number of divinity. 8 is a number of reunification. 3 is a number of a solid foundation from which to number 6 receive. So this is what's being mirrored. This reunification that's leading to your own internal divinity. That reunification First, needing a solid foundation, and secondly, needing you to be willing to receive in order to come back together to form your divinity. So, card number 2, friendliness. One thing I realize about Blu-rays, and I've observed this time and time again, we have no problem being friendly with the most downtrodden people. We have no problem exiting our comfortable spaces and just kind of putting ourselves out there for people who we see, not people who ask us to, but people who we just naturally see, witness hurting so badly. And so what ends up happening, we help them. We end up helping them either by just listening to them or by, with our actions, whatever it is we're doing to help them. Why can't we be friendly with ourselves like that? Where it's so hard for us to see how much we are hurting without giving ourselves permission to tell anyone. Blu-rays have a high tendency of doing this. It's something that really it needs to totally be corrected, because what ends up happening is it amplifies that sense of you're not enough, where you don't deserve the support, you don't deserve the love, you're just, you're just annoying. Oh my gosh. This is weird ass shit. I'm sorry, you guys. Totally had me brain. Shit got tangled. I gotta fix it. All right. So we have to allow ourselves to be much more friendlier with ourselves. We have to allow ourselves to begin supporting ourselves. It's just like what I was talking about in that one reading that I was doing about 2020 needing exorcism. Well, what happens when you put all your expectations on other people to fulfill the very things that you're supposed to fulfill yourselves? What happens when you expect someone outside of you to create opportunity for you? You become divided. You become confused. You become combative. You become resentful. You become so disappointed and disenchanted, jaded by life. And why is that? Because of someone else? Or is it because you refuse to take ownership of your life and your path? We have to be our own friend. We have to allow ourselves to be able to speak to ourselves and really just tell ourselves what the F's going on within us. Blu-rays have a tendency to really just ignore what's going on. And it's not that you don't know what's going on. It's that you don't want to see it. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want to see it. So we'll just ignore it. It's common. It's common to do that. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you someone who's in denial. It's not really denial when you know what it is. You know what I mean? You're just pretending. Denial is really like, no, there's no way. I can't believe that. This is something else. It's not denial because you know it. You just don't want to accept it. You don't want to. It's not that you can't. It's that you don't want to. And as long as you don't want to do something, your possibilities are affected. All that potentiality that was being loaded, charged, waiting for you to receive it, it flies away and waits at a distance. Okay? Oh, that's interesting. Card number 4, participation. Your participation in your life requires you to participate in all directions. All directions. Your attention can't just be on one thing. You have to recognize your life, your cycles. It's not linear. If you're just going to focus on what's ahead of you, failing to give yourself an opportunity to look back, to look who's beside you, do you really know what's going on with your life? Are you really aware of what you've already gone through, how much you've already grown? So, case in point, true, I dropped the ball, was angry with myself for something I have always done by habit. So, how do you know it's by habit? By allowing yourself to look back. And when you look back and saw that this is a way you've you've coped or responded, reacted, whatever it is, you got angry with yourself. Why? You got angry with the recognition of these patterns that now, because you recognize the pattern, you can change the pattern. That's the thing. Humanity goes through this like programming where we are taught and we are expected to be angry with ourselves the moment we become aware of the things we weren't aware of before. These things, these causes, the roots of what makes us behave the way we do, what causes us to behave in a not so beneficial way, not so compassionate way, not so productive way. When you begin to recognize what it is that you're doing that's adding to your struggle, it's so common to feel angry, to feel disappointed. That's okay, but now it's time to move forward. It's okay, so I did that. Probably shouldn't do that anymore. Okay, I won't do that anymore. Conversations I have in my head all the time. So participation is 4, 2 and 2. 4. It takes friendliness to the self, a recognition and desire for the possibilities in order to reach a level of participation that will continue to grow you and support you. Without friendliness to the self, the possibilities become very, I hear constricted. Our expectation becomes just far too rigid when it comes to ourselves. For example, if you're a good friend of mine and I see that you're doing the same coping mechanisms that got you to a place where you were frustrated with yourself, I wouldn't be coming up to you like, bitch, what the fuck's wrong with you? I'd be like, oh shit. I would not do that. I would recognize how you've been struggling and you've been trying and you're struggling, you're frustrated, and you're doing a good job. You've made progress. But when it comes to me, bitch, what's wrong with you? You still doing the same shit. Is that fair? Would you treat your best friend that way? Where it's like they're having a hard day, so it's like, I'm so sick of you having your hard day. I'm so sick of the way that you act. I'm so sick of the way that you struggle with the most basic things. Because really, what do you struggle with? The most basic things. What's your main struggle? Just really think on that. I get so frustrated when I do certain things. Like some of my coping mechanisms, just cut myself off, shut myself down. It's just so fucking annoying. That's so basic, right? Then just don't do that. But I can. How do I not do that? Don't do it. It's so fucking basic. How do you not understand this? Conversations I have in my head. How do I do it? Just do it. So how do you do it? You just do it. Okay. All right. 5 of spring. Opposing goals. What did I say earlier? Conflicting traumas. Opposing goals arising from differing opinions. Feeling at odds with yourself or others. Overly ambitious people. Okay. This is a question that was posed. Are you mad at someone, or are you mad at the way you couldn't speak your mind and your truth to that someone? Are you? Are you mad at someone, or are you mad the way you allowed someone else to have the kind of power to make you feel a way that made you feel bad about yourself? Well, why? Okay, so Jamie says, I'm mad at the way they couldn't accept it. Why did you need them to accept it? Because really, if I were to tell you that demons attacked me most of my life and you didn't accept it, would that lessen my experiences, my truth? I know what the fuck happened to me. I know what happened to me. I know what I experienced. So why do I need you to tell me that I did experience that? When you weren't even there, you didn't even know I existed. You know what I mean? So when we begin to realize these types of things, it's like, well, I really don't need you to agree. Oh, you don't agree? Oh, that's good. Good. You're using your noggin. That's how I see it. When people don't agree, it's like, oh, good, you're thinking for yourself. Good. I never wanted you to just agree, anyways. Hold on. Look at this. This is so. It's like peeing on itself. Okay. It's not that amusing, girl. So, card number 20, renewal. Review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. Understanding your life purpose. Releasing judgments of yourself and others. Cards are speaking. The cards are speaking. Releasing judgments of yourself and others. This brings me back to the concept of forgiveness. Do you have to forgive someone? Or is it more productive? Because in order to participate in that forgiveness protocol, you would then have to first identify yourself as the victim. Got to be a victim in the forgiveness program, right? Because if there's no victim, what do you need to forgive? If I didn't do anything to you, what would I say sorry for? Nothing. I don't have. Well, what do you need to forgive me for? Nothing. So that's the forgiveness program. I'm not saying it's okay to hold grudges, because that's not going to serve you either. But when you recognize there's no need to condemn someone else within your mind and your heart, condemning someone else for something, really, it's helping you to learn something. So, maybe it's time for me to release my judgment of you. Maybe it's time for me to release this perception I have that you've wronged me in some way. And instead see it as, you know what? Whatever your intention was, it's irrelevant to me. That's a part of your path, not mine. What's a part of my path is the way I was feeling, the thoughts that came from those feelings because of your actions. All I needed were the actions. You've already delivered that. You can go on your way now. Now I have to go ahead and look at, well, why did I feel that way? What about my human history caused me to feel the way that I did? Witnessing you do what you do. If I don't know, then I need to dig deeper. And if I think I've dug deep enough, if I don't have the answer to that question, I better get my shovel and my knee pads and dig more. You have every single answer you need inside you. The problem is we don't want to dig. We want someone else to dig it out for us, tell us what it is, clean it up, put it on a stand, and let us showcase it to other people. That's not how life works. You want that gem? Dig for it your damn self. Dig for it yourself. Clean it up yourself. Polish it yourself, and be very, very, very proud of all the work you put in to this beautiful thing. So, releasing judgments of yourself and others. Review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. Understanding your life purpose. Releasing judgments of yourself and others. That's just so important. Releasing judgment of yourself and others. King of Spring, innovative, inspiring, wise, theatrical, a financial windfall. Your leadership skills are needed now, an unexpected supporter of your cause. So when your life is shifting and the people who you once counted on to be present have become the very crutches that perpetuated your crippledness, and now, what you have to stand on your own, but you can't quite stand. I'm wondering if you need to allow yourself to be open to a new supporter of you and your cause. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that. I don't really trust people. It's the fucking truth. I don't really trust people. It's very difficult for me to trust people. Well, this is not my reading, though. Oh, wow. It's not your reading, girl. It's a general reading for everybody. I don't know. It wasn't just that, I was trying to get information for myself. It's more of like, I don't feel comfortable encouraging you guys to wait for someone else to do what you are now being told to walk away from. Isn't that just finding another crutch? All right, hold up. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Okay, let us see what's really going on. Oh, I gotta get going. I told my childrens, I told them I'm only going to be on for 30 minutes max. It's 35 minutes. I'm such a liar. Shit. I'm sorry. No, I'm not a liar. I'm just poor time management. Okay. I miss poor time management right now. All right. Oh, one more, two more. Shit. No, not shit. This works. This works. All right. Nine of Pentacles. In reverse. Roguery, danger, storms, bad faith. Oh, possible loss of a valued friendship or a treasured possession. That's sad. That's really sad. Two of Pentacles. Difficulty in launching new projects, new troubles, embarrassment. Well, that's fucked. So I'm wondering if, for some, the decision to walk away from a friendship is quite possibly the dumbest thing you could ever do. I don't know. Maybe that's a message for me. Hold on really quick. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going through. I don't know what I'm going through. I deactivated everything. Old cycles. That's how I deal with like chaos in my mind. Old cycles. Yeah. Queen of Cups in reverse, dishonesty, unreliability, vice. These are some negative ass cards. Negative ass cards, huh? Okay. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Those were right. Hold on. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Bad odds, possible loss, hazard, robbery, loss of inheritance, dissipation, and gambling. You're taking a gamble, okay? If you're taking a gamble, then you have to accept what happens. So this reminds me of one time I was in Vegas and I was playing roulette. And I drank a little. And so I had no problem using my intuition to know what numbers to bet on. I wasn't trying to win much, but I wasn't paying attention. I don't like to win. It's so weird shit. And because I wasn't paying attention, I put a stack. I didn't even know what each chip was valued at. I put a stack on a number. And I won. I landed on the number, and then next thing you know, she was sending me over like towers. And it was a risk that I took. I reaped the benefits of that. And then I continued to play at another table. And I took another risk. And I started to sober up at that point. And when I'm sober, I don't want to receive. At least then I didn't. I probably still don't now, but I lost most of it. It's fine. I mean, it's fine. Like, to me, I didn't have that money when I arrived. I really don't care. All right. 5 of Cups. Partial loss, regret, friendship without real meaning, inheritance, incomplete union or partnership. That is interesting. Cups have been spilled. Spilling secrets. 75% at 857. Mirroring. 75857. 7 is completion. 5 is change. 8 is reunification, leading to change, leading to more completion. Did someone say something? I think someone said something to someone. There's 3 cups. 3 cups that were spilled and 2 in the back, 2 behind. So I'm wondering if 3 people were speaking on something that maybe doesn't involve them. Is that a lion? Okay. I've had this deck for some time. Is that a lion? Do you guys see that? Am I the only one that sees that? I'm wondering. I'm not wondering. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone. Just leave it alone, girl. Leave it alone. Start stirring shit up. You got to have to lick the spoon. You want to stir the shit pot? You're going to lick the spoon? Okay, stop. That was just nasty. Stop. Don't make nasty jokes. 8 of Wands. Swift activity, sudden progress or movement, speedy, hastily made decisions, too rapid advancement. Arrows of love. I'm wondering if maybe some of you, I don't know, a Leo, or I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. I do know something got that. Stop. I'm really in one of those weird ass phases of life. Nothing's wrong. Several people asked if something was wrong. Nothing's wrong. I'm just being me. I go through my cycles. So death, transformation, clearing away the old to make way for the new, unexpected change, alteration, the ending of a familiar situation or friendship, financial loss, beginning of a new era. So, you're really going to have to make these decisions. All right. You're going to have to make these decisions because you're the one that's most greatly affected. It's up to you. It's up to you. You. Shit. All right. Let's put these cards away. I hope that it's not so speedy. 43 minutes. I hope the reading gives clarity for whoever Blu-rays needed. The clarity, even if you're not Blu-ray, you don't know what Blu-ray is. If you're here and you're resonating, messages for you. A decision definitely has to be made. Hold on. I'll give you guys some answers. Hold up. Hold the phone. Let me call my child to get my purse. I'm going to do something for you guys. Give me 1 second, okay? Hey, babe, could you grab my purse, my gray purse out there? Thank you. All right. So what I want you guys to do, I want you to think of whatever is the most pressing thing on your mind right now. What have you been the most stressed out about? The one thing. I want you to ask a yes or no question for this one thing. And as soon as my child gets here, come in. Come in. Choopy choop.
Here you go, mother.
Oh, I can't reach that far, baby, in my bag. Thank you.
Yeah. Love you, Mom.
Love you. It's so heavy. Yo, I'm a little bit crazy. I go to my brother's doctor's appointments with this. All the files. For real. Tons of files. Okay, ask the question. Ask the question. Ask yourself something. Ask it, okay? So, has to be a yes or no question. So, the answer is yes. Ask a second question. How's it moving? Answer is no. Okay? Third question. Think of the third question. Has to be a yes or no question. No. The answer is no. So what was the answer for the second question? What did it say? Did it say yes? Did it say no? What was your first question? Stop. Okay. That was the third. Fourth question. Yes or no question, okay? Yes. Did that make sense for you guys? Did it make sense? Did it help you like to decide things? So I earlier, I have little faith. Earlier I was like, I thought my brother wasn't going to make it. He was meeting me at his doctor's. And I pulled out my thing. I was like, he's not going to be here. He's not going to be here. And then I was like, let me ask. And I was like, is he going to miss his appointment? No. I'm going to ask a different way. Is he going to make it on time? Yes. That's what happened. So, one more question. Ask if everything that you've received is accurate for you. So I'll ask that. Are all the answers that were received accurate for the people who asked the answers, who asked the questions? Yes. Are you full of poop? Are you making this up? No. Do you love me, Bish? Do you love me, Bish? Why is she no? Bish, come on. Do you love me, Bish? Do you guys see that, right? Bish, do you love me? Whenever you see how it's moving, and as soon as I say that, it's just Bish. Bish. Do you love me? You guys see it? Fuck you then. Get back in your little purse. She's probably like, I don't want to answer. You too much. You too rowdy. You guys saw that, right? It was answering for everything except for when I asked. Oh, hold up. Here's one, okay. Final one. Should I begin ignoring Michael? Of course you'd say no. You two are in cahoots. Swear to God. Of course she'd say no. She can't answer if she loves me, but oh no, don't stop listening to him. Whatever, I don't listen to him anyways. All right, guys, gotta go. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see you guys. I almost forgot. I'm going live on 11/11. I already have the link available. Oh God. Hold on. Please visit. Hold on, guys. I'm almost done. Energetic. All right. Oh. Was that right? I don't know if that was right. We'll just pin it anyways. Pin message. So if you guys would like to join me, let me see if that's the right link. It was right. It was right. If you guys want to join me, just check out that link. I'm going to be live here on. It's not linking for you. Well, hold on. Do you have an iPhone? Because iPhone tends to not like links. There's the link. It's broken. You have to copy the whole thing. That's the link right there. It was broken. Hold on. Let me write it all again. I probably should have just done this in the first place. Oh Lord. Right. And then what? What the fudge? What the fudge? Sometimes these are a lot of games that are being played with me right now. Oh shit. Okay, it's right there. Whatever. We just post this. Okay? It's been a long day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Thank you for sharing this space with me. Bye, everyone.